Hi guys, welcome back. This week I wanted to show you how to make a really cute little, I don't know, witchy cottage out of a children's 3D puzzle. Although it says it's a children's 3D puzzle, it's apparently for like 8 years plus. In all honesty, this build took me a lot longer purely because I needed like a degree in puzzle solving, I don't know, to actually put this blooming house together. But other than that, it was a really fun build and I hope you enjoy. So let's get to it.
It was at this moment that he knew.
After what felt like an absolute eternity looking at instructions that I had no idea what they meant, it was literally all written in Chinese and yeah, was full of numbers and God knows what else. I just decided to literally unpop everything, give it a little sand down and cut down little bits of wood that aren't necessary and just give it a go. Some of the puzzle pieces were a little bit janky. They don't sort of, like the doors here, they don't shut properly. But, you know, for a children's puzzle, I didn't expect anything fantastic. So, you know, for what I paid for the puzzle, it was actually a pretty good price and a really cool little house at the end of it. Just took a little bit of modification here and there. I'm not going to lie, this little bit of balcony landing absolutely drove me insane. I ended up having to glue it down using some wood glue. So if you are considering buying this puzzle, make sure you purchase wood glue too. You are going to need it because the puzzle pieces are pretty warped, as you can probably tell from the footage. As you can tell, I have started sculpting only on the first and second floor, and that is purely because I am constrained by like my oven size. I couldn't fit this entire giant house in the oven, so I ended up having to work on the first and second floor first and baking that, and then working on the final floor and the roof. So if you're going to do this, then definitely think about your oven size before purchasing, because obviously I didn't. Because I was going with your standard, I don't know, English countryside house, I decided to add in so many cobblestones, because I do this to myself every time I decide to do a big project. I decide to add in something that takes me so long to do. Luckily for you guys, with the magic that is editing, you get to see this in literally just a few seconds, but this really did take me hours. But I have to admit, it was worth the effort, because once it's all painted up, it really does look really cool, and it gave the cottage that cottagey feel that I think it probably wouldn't have without doing this. So have fun if you're going to do it. It's going to take you a while. after adding loads and loads and loads and loads of snakes of clay to make all of my vine work, I decided that this was the bottom half of the cottage complete, and popped that into the oven, and then went on to work on the roof and the attic, obviously, because it's the same place. That bit. Went on to work on that. It was a much simpler build, but I think that's because I had an awful lot less puzzle pieces on my desk. Yeah, made that up and just put a layer of polymer clay over the roof areas and gave it a thatched roof, I don't know, thatched cottage style, trying to hide some of the pegs as well that kind of like hold the roof together. I didn't do a wonderful job at that, but it looks better than just the wood. I decided to add a few spires to the house just to give it a little, I don't know, gothic-y feel, although the house already kind of feels gothic-y. I just wanted to add a little bit extra, as one does. So I just created a few spires using some cocktail sticks, added a few more wood. I'm so sorry if it sounds like Father Christmas in this house. I've got like a 12-week-old kitten that has decided right now is the perfect time to get up and play. So her bell is constantly ringing underneath my feet. So I am very sorry if that's what you can hear. But yeah, I decided to finish off those last bits of wood, stick it in the oven, and then attach it all together using some wood glue and my Milliput just to kind of hide any gaps in the structure. And that's purely because there's an awful lot of warping going on in this puzzle. I genuinely couldn't get it all to fit. I don't know what I did wrong, but that's how it worked. So yeah, I just ended up gluing it together rather than trying to fit it together using its like little pegs and stuff. I just couldn't get it to do it. I decided to add just a little bit more despise for puzzle making to my list of things that I really dislike doing, by making all of the furniture to go in the house as well. I have to admit, this time I enlisted some teeny tiny magic hands to help me build some of the stuff, although she did return later and steal half of the furniture that I made to go in her house because it would look better there. But it doesn't matter because my house is reasonably small, so I kept the furniture that I needed to go in the house. She literally took everything else. Ta-da! All of the tiny bits of furniture that I managed to keep after many hours of negotiation with the smallest person living in my house. I decided not to film like every piece of furniture that I made, purely because I don't want you guys to get that bored that you just bugger off. But if you do want a longer version of the video, then please do let me know down in the comments. I am more than happy to put together a longer version. I literally just didn't want to make you so bored that you left me. That made me sound so desperate. After making all of my teeny tiny bits of furniture, I popped them into the oven on my baking tray, let them cool down, and then moved on to painting the inside of the house. Now I have to admit, if you are going to do this, my biggest bit of advice I can give you is paint the inside of the house before you put it together, because oh my god, trying to paint like white windowsills and a different colour wall was next to impossible unless you've got like teeny tiny arms or I don't know, some weird contortionist thing going on. But yeah, biggest bit of advice, if you're going to do this, paint the inside first before you even put the house together, because honestly I had to take breaks so that I was getting that mad with trying to paint windows on the inside. It was didn't want all of the rooms to look like brand spankingly new painted, so I literally just used my dirty paint water, grim I know, to muddy up some of the corners of the walls, then, you know, to get into some of the real corners to really bring it out, I used just a black wash. After I did that, I moved on to painting the front of the house. To make the bricks really stand out, I dry brushed on a lighter grey, and then I progressively went over them over and over again with lighter and lighter shades, just to really bring them out. And then I picked out like the odd 1 or 2 bricks just to give it a different colour, just to give it, I don't know, a little bit more than, I don't know, monochrome greys. Give something for the eye to look at as well. To give this sculpture a little bit more depth, I just decided to add a few, I don't know, little grassy areas and stuff like that. If you'd like to know how this is my homemade flock, so it's not the expensive stuff. So if you want to know how I made it, then pop into my playlist and have a look at the Haunted Holiday Home diorama video that I did. It will show you there how I made that leafy flock type thing, using dried herbs and paint, really. Yeah, then I moved on to painting the furniture because obviously I got bored of painting the house. wanted to give the walls a little bit of extra love because they were looking a bit plain. Despite having all that pretty furniture in there, people still have stuff hanging on the walls, so I had to do that as well. So I just made up a few frames out of my polymer clay, got them baked up, tried to make sure that they were flat. So make sure your baking tray is nice and flat. And of course I also decided that I needed to make curtains despite the fact that I can't sew. But don't worry, I didn't hide that gem from you. You get to see in all its glory how bad my sewing is. The curtains aren't great, I have to admit. But I think that the house would look not as good without my god-awful curtains. So I like them. With the curtains all finished, it is time literally just to put everything together in the house. So yeah, I just glued my little curtain poles in using a bit of Gorilla Glue, and then it was time to add the furniture and the wall hangings. now I'm going to add in the final few details by just adding in some grasses and some flowers. These are for proper diorama making. Nothing I made myself. These are like bought. I'll leave the description of where you can buy them yourself below. And yeah, just added some mosses and stuff like that just to give, I don't know, I wanted to make the house not too dark. I wanted it to be like a proper little witchy cottage. So I wanted there to be life in this diorama. So I just added some mosses to my vine work and stuff like that, just to make it more cottagey feeling. I think I did that. But yeah, once I'd done that, this was pretty much finished. And that's it, guys. The cottage has finished. It was a really fun, project to take on. Did take a lot longer than I was kind of expecting it to. So, for my first delve into anything of the real miniature side of things, I really enjoyed making it. And if you're looking into doing something similar, then I strongly suggest that perhaps you start, here, where you can literally just make a puzzle and make it look better, rather than some of that amazing stuff that people do with like their miniature work is unreal. So yeah, if you liked this video, then please do take a minute to like, because, well, you liked it, so like. Leave me a comment, and if you're new here, then please do take a minute to subscribe. My goodness. Best exit on a video yet. Thumbs up for me. You know the drill. If you want to see more, then please do check out my playlist, and I'll catch you around, guys. See you later. Bye.